I have given you the equation on problem 3A. Please note that down. I realized some people probably forgot geometry. Please note down the equation on page 3. Everyone should be there at this point. Problem 4A. Okay, great. If you don't have it, I'm sure somebody at your table has it. You can look on with them. All right, a farmer wants to enclose, I'm on number 5. A farmer wants to enclose a rectangular field by a fence and divide it into 2 smaller rectangular fields by constructing another fence parallel, bless you, to one side of the field. He has 3,000 yards of fencing. So the first question is, we need to find an equation that relates y in terms of x. So it's y equals something with x on the right side. Take a minute to yourself. We don't need to talk here. Take a minute to yourself and think, how could I write an equation using the information they've given me here that is y equals something that has x on the right side? Use what you know about rectangles. Use the information we gave you. You're going to want to think about, how does the 3,000 fit in? Think about how the 3,000 fits in. Any ideas? Any thoughts? How could we do this? Jasmine, what do you think? 2x.
2y equals 3,000.
2x, 2y equals 3,000, like this?
Plus.
Plus. 2x plus 2y equals 3,000. Marvin?
That was 3x.
So Marvin thought 3x plus 2y equals 3,000. Jasmine, explain why you think you're right.
Because the rectangle as a whole
Mm-hmm.
is, you have to do the sides, but I don't think it's necessary to make it 3 x's because you have only 2 sides of the top and bottom.
Right? Okay, so those are the 2 y's. You guys both agree with that, okay?
So you have like one side.
So 1x at 2x? Okay. What do you think, Marvin?
You have to two sides, but also the one in the middle.
Why do I have to include that too, though?
Because he said he wants to construct that as well.
Okay. Jose, what do you think?
Oh, it says constructing another fence parallel to one side.
Okay, so then that leads you to believe which Jose is right.
The 3x.
The 3x, yeah, absolutely right. Because we need to spend the fencing here, here, and here. Right? We got to use the fencing in all those spots. So now we want to solve this out for y. So I'm going to minus 3x on both sides. So 2y equals 3,000 minus 3x. Solve for y. So y equals 3,000 divided by 2 is 1,500 minus 3 over 2x. So now we've got an equation that relates y in terms of x. We've got an equation that relates y in terms of x. So let's look at part B now, on the back. Let's look at part B on the back. So part B says, use your equation in part A. Well, here's our equation from part A. I'm going to erase the non-equation part. I'm just going to leave the equation. It says use the equation from part A to write an equation for area in terms of x. Area as a function of x. How might I go about doing that? I want to write an equation for area of this rectangular field. How would I go about? Luis, what do you think?
Isn't the area for rectangle length?
Okay. So a of x is length times width. Okay. How do I now move on from there? That's right. You want to keep going, Luis, or you want to stop there?
I want Marvin to.
Okay, you want Marvin to pick up? Okay, Marvin.
So area equals x in parentheses
So the area equals x
times the equation.
times this equation. Thoughts on this? Thoughts on this? What do you think, David? Is he right? I'm not sure. I want to see what you're thinking. I mean, I agreed with Luis about this part, but I don't know like where this came from. That's why I was a little bit unsure of how he got that. Did you understand how he got that? Oh, you did, okay.
From the front?
From the front?
Exactly.
Okay, so what happened here? Okay, so here's the picture. So now, okay, so explain how does the picture help us here?
So that's wrong because perimeter and area are totally different things.
I agree with that, for sure, okay. So now, how does that affect this? Sorry.
So
Because like here we wanted the area, right? Let's see, what do you think? Where does this extra x come from? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Hosnari, what do you think? Say that again. Oh, so you're saying that like really the area is just this? So it's what you're saying, like the area is really just this? Ah, so the area is this length times width. But then like where does this come from now? From where? Oh, from here, I see. Yeah, very good. This is correct. This is absolutely right. Right, I was just wanting to string out the conversation. Right, so absolutely. So like length is x. Good job, Marvin. Good job, Lestari. Good job, everybody. And the y value is 1500 minus 3/2 x. Does that make sense, David? Now, opposite of the month. So any questions on how we got the area equation? Cool. So the rest of the problem is just on the calculator. I'm not going to belabor the point. I do want to look at f real quick. What is f really asking? If you look about f, like in words, what are they asking on f? What values of x satisfy this inequality? What does that even mean? What are they really asking us there? Liz, what do you think?
What values of what values of x are going to fit in between the two inequalities?
What values of x are going to fit in between the two equalities? Yeah, so I already know that, right? So like 200,000.1, 200,000.2, 200,000. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but like how much of his land can he get for most of it?
How much of his land can he get? That's not clear to me. Aldo, what do you think?
What value of x makes this true?
Okay, keep going. So what does this say in words? Like in words, what does that mean? If you had to explain that to somebody who knows nothing about inequalities, what does that mean in words? Yeah, you can keep going. David? In words, so like no math here, in words. What does that mean, David?
what value of x is in the middle, I guess, both intervals?
What values of x is in the middle? So like 200,000.1, 200,000.2, 200,000.3?
What values of x is enough to give you that amount well, it's like, what value of, I don't know how to explain it. You get what I mean, though.
I do get what you mean. We're super close. Salma?
I don't know if this is right, but
That's fine.
maybe like it's asking for the domain within the range restriction.
Wow, that is actually like a really good way of saying it. I could never have thought to say that way myself. That's actually a really good way of saying it. In like highly mathematical terms, that's very good. Marvin, you want to explain it like non-math terms? That's really good though, Salma.
With the equation we got for area, which x value when we plug it in will give us a y value between 200,000 and 600,000.
Yep. And like even at a more like non-math level is what x values or what values of the length would give us an area between 200,000 and 600,000. That's what they're asking. So what values of x for the length would give us an area between 200,000 and 600,000? Good job. All right, and let's finish it off. One common assessment problem. Backmost page. It looks very similar to what we just did. So take 2 minutes on your own and try to answer this question. You can be smart and answer it in 25 seconds, or you can take 2 minutes and answer it. Both ways will give you the right answer. One way takes 25 seconds, one way takes 2 or 3 minutes. One way has a lot of math, one way has very little math.
It's like the same thing as we did, like,
It is very similar. So 2 minutes, silently on your own. When you think you have an answer, just raise your hand, I'll come around and check. All right, close. All right, the 25-second method. Done. Done. Can you explain that in a little bit? Sorry to the class why you're right. You are right. So, if you need some support, this is how I started it like last night when I was working on it. That was the first thing I wrote down last night. And that was the next thing I wrote down, and then I began to do a little bit of work. Some people might have already done that. Great. Some people might not have. You can try to understand where this is coming from. That's why. And then you plug that in.
You're not alone. It says there's a calculator we can use, so what the hell, man? Well,
So guys, like take another 30 seconds on it. Take another 30 seconds. I mean, and again, like what I would do from here, right, is I would try to solve for y. Some people might have done this already. Great.
Oh, I didn't have to do this math.
All right. So, the people who are doing the math, they might still be finishing up, punching into the calculator. Carla, how is this problem easier to be done in 20 seconds just by looking at it?
It's easier because if you look at the answer choices, the ones that have the farmer only has 200 yards, so there's going to be a restriction.
The farmer only has 200 yards of fence. The area cannot be infinite. There's only 200 yards of a fence. The range cannot have infinity. Let's cut that out. Certainly the range can't have a negative number. You're not going to have negative area. And the domain, which is how long the x is, well, that can't have infinity either, because I have limited amount of resources. Correct answer is D. 25 seconds, no math. There are questions like this. Logic is always better.
Yeah.
Logic is always better.
I was looking at the formula and then I was like, what? And then I looked, because I already crossed it.
Sorry. Let David keep going.
So I already had crossed off A, B, C.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at D and E. And I was thinking about how to do the math formula.
And then
it hit
you.
me, I'm like, wait, it's infinity.
Yeah. All right, guys. Shh.
So tomorrow.
You guys, can everybody up here? So, we have about 20 minutes left. You have the rest of the period to work. This homework is going to be due on Wednesday. You have the rest of the period to work. Bring that question.
It's got to be the most demoralizing problem ever.